What would you do to get a job at Harley-Davidson? Let's get into it.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. So this video is all about me and riding my heroic Harley on the back roads, yes, and loving the bike so much that I think, do you know what? I could do some good things at Harley-Davidson. I could put them on the right path. I could right the wrongs. I could improve the brand, improve the sales. I could do it all. But what would I do there, and how would I convince them that they should employ me? Now, those of you who watch my channel may get the impression from time to time that I tend to bash on Harley-Davidson quite a lot. But actually, what I'm doing is that I'm just relaying information or experiences that people have. So hopefully everybody can get a little bit wiser and improve their given situation. Other people might say, well, you're always being negative about Harley-Davidson, or the bikes, or the company, or the dealerships. And again, no, I don't think I am. I'm just calling it as I see it. And if something needs to be addressed, then I'll say it needs to be addressed. However, with every negative thing that I say, I always say that there's a lot of positivity as well. For every bad dealership or every bad experience you get at a dealership, there's always going to be a great experience somewhere else, or a great dealership. For every bad experience on a motorcycle in terms of reliability and things like that, you're going to get bikes that never have a problem, never have an issue. For every bad experience you have dealing directly with Harley-Davidson as a company, there's going to be 1,000 other people that can have a great experience and they never have an issue. So there's always a flip side to every argument. It can never be all good, it can never be all bad. It's always a mixture of both sides, and my channel hopefully represents that. Although people might not think that, because they might just see one video and not see the whole body of videos that I've produced. The question I would ask myself, and also I suppose the question that you should be asking me as well, is, well, Al, what can you bring to the party? What can you bring to Harley-Davidson? Why should they employ you? And that's a very good question. I suppose from my point of view, I would say that I bring reality, or a touch of reality. I bring the everyman, the person on the street. And this could apply to you or any other person who rides a motorcycle or rides a Harley-Davidson in this case. But you could apply the same logic if you're a BMW rider, you want to go and work for BMW, a Honda rider, you want to work for Honda. You know, it's the same deal here. And it's basically this. You go to any company, let's say Harley-Davidson, and you would hold them accountable. You would hold them accountable for what they're proposing, what their policies are, and actually act as a check for them and say, hold on a minute, you want to do this, but where's your market going to be? Who's going to be able to afford your bikes? This kind of thing. They may not like it, but it may be something that they need to have. And do you know what it is? It all comes down to integrity and honesty. And this is what I would always say to anybody. Yes, you've got to be into the brand, and you've got to be into the product that they sell and all that kind of stuff, but you've got to be there to try and improve the situation. You've got to be there to offer them a way to improve their products, improve their public perception, improve their marketing, whatever kind of thing that you want to go into Harley-Davidson to do. Then you have to be honest, you have to have your own integrity, but you have to have your own mission statement, as in, I want to go in there to improve what they're doing. Because if you're just going into a company like Harley-Davidson to join the masses and to just enable them to keep on doing what they're doing, then that isn't good for you, and that isn't good for them. You need people who are going into a company who are going to be thinking about the future and trying to get a company to evolve, their products to evolve as well. Also have one eye on the past, but also have one eye on the future. You've got to be able to look at the heritage of the company, the customer base, the old customer base, and the new customer base as well. So if I were trying to get a job with Harley-Davidson, the one question I would ask them, because I would always ask them a question, I would say this: do you want somebody to join your ranks, or do you want somebody who's going to help evolve the company? Do you want somebody who's going to do everything that you say, Or do you want somebody who's going to offer suggestions and offer solutions to problems? Do you want somebody who runs with the herd or is completely independent in the way they think about things? And these are the questions that I would ask Harley Davidson, and these are the kinds of things that I would do to try and get a job at Harley Davidson. I will be honest, I'll be totally upfront with what I want and where I see the brand and where I see the motorcycles. I would look at, say, well, look at the kind of products that you're producing and how you're alienating a whole group, a whole percentage, a whole demographic of people around the world. Let's tap into that. Let's make the company bigger, better, more stable, not so reliant on big ticket items or people who can only afford those. Let's just broaden the net a little bit. Let's talk about different sorts of motorcycles. Let's talk about the way that the company is perceived or that the dealerships are perceived. Let's talk about marketing. Let's talk about your model releases. Let's talk about the way you advertise these products. Let's talk about, the kind of media you're using. All these things. And this is where I would see myself within Harley Davidson. It's not necessarily that I would bring expertise, but I would hold them to account and I would say, hey, hold on a minute. We should be looking at this a different way. We should be trying to gather different specialities here, and we should be trying to look for the future but not ignore the past. This is where I would come in, and this is how I would approach Harley Davidson. But do you honestly think that Harley Davidson are going to phone me up or offer me a job? Come on, let's be real here. That's never going to happen. I know that. But what I'm saying is, hypothetically, if I were to try and get a job there, or if I was approached by Harley Davidson to work for them, then these are the kind of questions, and this is a conversation that I will be having with them. It would be about what I can offer, what ideas I have, but also, does that fit into the way Harley Davidson is now, or does it fit into the way Harley Davidson can be in the future? For me, there is no point in joining any business, any company, if you're only ever going to be a cheerleader for that company. You're going to be a fan. You'll never be able to see the bad side. You'll only be able to see the good side. That is not a worthwhile employee to me. You've got to strike the right balance, of course, but that's not a worthwhile employee or part of that company. You need to be somebody who's productive and who's going to be able to acknowledge the things that they're failing at and find solutions for those, but also promote the things that they're really good at as well. So, it's about smoothing out the edges. It's about reducing the things that they could improve on and increasing the things that they are really good at. And that's where I would see myself within Harley Davidson. And that's the kind of thing that I would say and do to try and get a job there as well. What would you do? What would you do to get a job at Harley Davidson? What kind of job would you like at Harley Davidson? Would it be in a technical department? Would it be in marketing? Would it be in a finance situation? Whatever, merchandise, whatever it is. Where would you see yourself in the Harley Davidson Corporation, and what could you offer to them? Let us know in the comments below. But don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, like and share. Check out the website, RevelatorAlf.com. Right, I must go and ride my heroic Harley on more back roads. Ta-da!